He who has the people wins. Whether you're here in Austria, Switzerland, America, or China, he who has the people wins. Whether you're a roofing contractor, a manufacturer, or a distributor, he who has the people wins. Whether you turn over 1 million or 1 billion, he who has the people wins. Globally, in the roofing industry, we're facing lots of problems. The price of materials, logistics, labour, lowball pricing from competition. But the biggest problem which I see, which affects the growth of all of our companies, is the people. It's no longer about winning projects and getting the right margin. It's about getting the right people. My name is McCormack, and over the past 10 years, I've been working globally in the roofing industry, helping my clients, roofing companies, recruit and retain the best people. And as a recruitment company, the reason that we're able to make placements, the reason why people move from one company to the other, is the same reason as why people will leave your companies. So today, I'm going to share with you the reasons as to why people take a recruiter's call, why someone will leave your business, to allow you to retain your workforce, grow your company, and ultimately so that you can win the roofing talent war. So, first of all, I want to tell you a bit about my story and what qualifies me to speak to you all here today about recruitment and retention in roofing. So, 20 years ago, I was looking out my bedroom window and I was looking onto the garage. And there was something on the garage roof which I couldn't take my eyes off. I didn't understand it. What was this living organism on the roof? Why was the grass on the roof? And I had to ask my dad, like, what is this? I couldn't get my head around it. And my dad explained to me that it's a sedum blanket, a green roof. And it was from that moment that I started to get infatuated with the innovation which exists in roofing. My father worked in roofing contracting and he then worked in supply. And the longer that he worked in roofing, the bigger the family home got. Holidays to Tenerife turned into holidays to Florida. The car get bigger, the suit get nicer. And he would bring home architects, main contractors, roofers. And I really learned that there's more to this industry than meets the eye, more than what most people think. And I remember one day when my dad was working for a large roofing manufacturing firm, myself, my mum and my dad were invited to their family day down in Bristol. And I remember this day vividly. The sun was shining, the grass was green, there was barbecues, there was camaraderie, there was families coming together. And when I was standing there was a big red bouncy castle. And when I seen it, my eyes lit up. I sprinted at the bouncy castle, I jumped on it with 2 feet, bouncing from walls to roofs, hardly taking a second to stop for a drink of water. And that is exactly how I've joined the roofing industry. My advisors, my mentors, they all told me that your dreams of your global ambitions can never be quenched in only roofing. But they were wrong. And over the past 10 years, I've helped roofing contractors, distributors, manufacturers scale by helping them get managerial and executive level talent across sales, marketing, operations and finance within their business. I cut my teeth in the UK market, a member of the NFRC, the Institute of Roofing, and we worked across Europe, globally, to where we are now in America. So I'm actually rebranding right now from McCormack Partners to Roofing Talent America, but that's a presentation for another day. Since joining the American roofing industry, I'm so proud to say that we've become part of the industry. And my job was always not to be a recruiter, but to transcend the word recruitment, operate with the values of profit with a purpose, and give back to the industry. We've donated over $50,000 to the Roofing Alliance, and the Roofing Alliance, what they've done with these funds, if they have donated free roofs to underprivileged families all over America. They've aligned roofing and academia through Clemson. And just like the community of people that I found in Bristol, the community of people in the American roofing industry have got me to where I am today. It was actually when I was in America, I met Mr. Miller for the first time in Vegas, out of all places. And again, it was the people of the roofing industry, Graham, that got me on this stage here today. I've spoke at schools, colleges, universities. I've my own campaign, People Make Roofing, where I shine a light on the people within this industry, the characters, the career paths, the money, and that's all to give back to an industry which has given me so much. So the value that I hope that you get here today is that, you know, I don't just do my job, I'm obsessed over it, and I analyse everything to the granular detail. And I've analysed why people take our calls, why can we successfully move someone from one company to the other. And it's the exact same reason that people will be leaving your company now or in the future. So I hope you get some value from it, and we'll get started. Done that. So, close your eyes. Close your eyes and think about your key member of staff. The one person that, if you could manufacture 100 of them, you would. The clients love them. They are the example for the rest of your staff members. You don't know what you would do without them. Now, I want you to consider the feeling. The feeling that you would get on Monday morning if you went back to your office and their resignation letter was on your desk. And they're going to a competitor. Do you feel that? It's heartbreaking, it's gut-wrenching. I've been there. And the premise of today's chat is to make sure that you never get that feeling again. So, put your hand up if you've ever left a company because of a bad manager. So, this is the number one reason. And it sounds like simple stuff, but it is so true. People don't leave bad companies, they leave bad managers. And so often I've seen good workers get promoted into managerial positions. And it's almost like a well done for their service for doing good at their job. It's an act of love, almost. But what I would say is that what I've seen a lot is that act of love is actually an act of sabotage to that person's career, to your team, and to your managers. So I would ask yourself, do we have bad managers in the company? Do we have people that have been put into that position, but they've not been developed to become great leaders? If you as the business owner is not developing their skills, how can you expect them to get better? Now, the good news is there's a lot that you can do. There's a lot of subjects that you can train your managers on, simple things that you could all do today to allow them to be better at conflict resolution, at active listening, team building, strategic thinking. And there's so many avenues to get this knowledge today in your fingertips through the NRCA, through the other associations, the NFRC, LinkedIn, Udemy, Coursera. If the number one reason why people leave jobs is bad management, and everything that you need to improve your management exists right there, you must ask yourself why you're not doing it. Because it's happened in the past, it's happening now, and it will continue to happen in the future. The first recruitment company that I worked for, I was the first in the office, I was the last out. I was bought in, they had my heart. And one day, they sent an email out, and he said that, you know, we're not doing enough, not making enough impact, not making enough calls, we all need to get better. And he finished the email by saying, we all need to get better to improve his life. And just at that moment, the veil was broken. We were no longer a team, we were no longer a family. I was just a number who existed to make his dreams become a reality. And the main thing I want you to take away today is that people don't leave a company for a financial reason. Yes, there will be some that do, but from my analysis, from the Society of Human Resource Management, it's all out there. The reason why people leave companies is an emotional decision, not a financial one. I used to think because someone's getting a 10 grand wage rise, of course they'll take that job. But I was wrong, because it's going to take more than a few £100 a month for someone to leave the people that they spend the majority of their life with. As humans, basic psychology, what we want is certainty. And to actually move from the office you go to every day, the people that you work with every day, and go somewhere brand new, it's a big decision, it's an emotional decision. And having bad managers is something that can tear someone emotionally a little bit, like that email did to me. So I would watch out for that with your managers and how you're managing to retain your staff and grow further. There's a lot of roofing industry specific training companies out there. These are just some of the ones that I know, but there's companies out there that will train your sales managers, train your sales team, your estimators, your service department, industry-specific people that exist today that a lot of people don't know about. And I suggest that you have a look at these companies because they can really make a big impact in improving your business, improving your team, improving your managers. So, when people stop growing, they start leaving. As business owners, as leaders, we have a responsibility. And the responsibility is to make sure that our people are growing personally and professionally within the organisation, that we are making them successful. Because if we're not, why would they stay with us? Again, the recruitment company that I worked for, I was given a phone and a laptop and I was told, go make it happen. And I hated that at the time because I seen all these other recruitment businesses, they were bringing in coaches, consultants, mentors, and I was getting nothing. Until one day I realised it was actually a gift. They taught me that I don't need them to do well, and I went and started my own company. So we obviously don't want that. So what I do in my company now is I make sure my people are being developed with coaches, with mentors, not just professionally on roofing, but personally as well. All my staff have access to free therapy sessions with a therapist that I use. They get access to free mindset coaching with a mindset coach who I use. I have mentors on recruitment who've got much larger businesses than me, who's given sessions to them. We've got guys from the American roofing industry which give training to the staff on the difference between re-roofing, service, new construction, the different types of people in each market so that they can genuinely be specialists in roofing. So when they're speaking to clients and they're speaking to candidates, they're seen as an expert. But it's not just that. We bring in people who are experts on human psychology to show them how the human mind works, not only so that they can be more influential with people, but just so that they can understand themselves more and grow and be better. And if someone's working for you and you're improving them personally and professionally, they've got a career ladder to go up and they can make money and they've got certainty of this, why would they leave? So I would ask you to consider, when was the last time that I invested into the growth of my employees? And if someone wouldn't mind sharing for the benefit of the room, I know there's a lot of successful people in here, but I'd like to learn from someone in the room, what are you doing to develop your employees? And maybe someone else could get an idea. Does anyone mind sharing?
I speak to my staff. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There you go.
I speak to my staff every single day. Not one of them is left out of the discussion at any point in that day. And that's, in my view, good, solid management. Make them feel useful, make them feel welcome, make them listen to their issues, listen to their problems. This is vital if you want to run a company.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you. This isn't part of the chat, but I've got something which I implement in my business very similar to you. and it's called radical transparency. So every decision which is made, every move we're about to take, everyone's brought into it. So they don't feel like they're just here to build my dream, that they're part of building the dream, they're part of the mission, they're part of the vision. I got that advice from a guy who's a billionaire, and I've also seen it in so many successful companies, that if there's a vision that everyone's bought into and it's crystallized and they're part of building that vision, they will be happy, they will be fulfilled, and they will stay with your business. So, something to consider. So, another massive one here, a massive life change. So, who in this room, when the birth of their first child came, it caused you to reconsider everything? Who you are, where you are, your job, your career. Did you show of hands? Yep. So, is it not almost inevitable that your employees will go through a massive life change? It doesn't need to be their first child. There's so many things that happen in life. And how you respond to that life change will make a big impact on the longevity that employee will have in your business. There's a quote by the US military, I believe, and the quote is, "Recruit the soldier, retain the family." I'm sure you've heard that one, Gary. And this is so true, because when your employee goes home, their partner, their family, they know about the job, they know about the people in there. And some of the best companies that I've seen, what they've done is, if their wife falls pregnant and has a baby, they don't just send a card to the house. They'll send a basket specifically for the wife, for after pregnancy care. They'll send a card to his son saying, "You're going to become a big brother." And it's these little things that build an emotional attachment between the family and the company. And these things matter. They really do. So if what I'm saying here to you, and this is, I've not made this up, but this is the truth, that when someone changes jobs, it's not a financial decision, it's an emotional decision. So you need to take care of their emotions. So what happens if we have a bad day at work and Graham didn't share something with them, or they had a lot of pressure on them, and they're in this emotional state? Recruiter phones, and they've got this big job, amazing career opportunity, and they want to consider it. They might just leave. And then their partner says to them, "Don't be hasty. Think of all the little things that they've done for us. How do we know the next company will treat us the same?" It's a risk. Basic human psychology, certainty. They don't want to go into an uncertain territory, but they can very easily be pushed. So if you want to recruit the soldier, retain the family, and just be attentive to people's lives, it makes a massive difference. Cultural fit. So this is a big one. So how many of us has seen the CV or the resume of someone who works at a competitor? They've been there for 10 years, they know the markets, it would be a statement to the industry to hire them. You almost don't even care what they're like, because you know they've got that experience with that market, with that material. It'd make your life easier, they can just hit the ground running. And then 3 months later they've left, and there's a tail of destruction behind them. Because we recruit people based on their skills and experience, but we fire them based on their personality and their attitude. And assessing the cultural fit before someone comes into the organisation is how you can make sure they're not just a technical fit, but they're a personality fit as well. Because we can teach skills, you can't really teach a personality, as far as I know. In my organisation, I would hire people just because they had technical recruitment experience and they lived in Hamilton. That was enough for me. And the retention rate wasn't great. And I started to look deeper into this and think, what can I do to make sure that the people that join my organisation mesh with their team and they're not, clanking heads. And I researched it and I realised it's about assessing cultural fit. You can assess cultural fit by assessing your current team members, and you can put it into the interview process. And we could all do it right now in 15 minutes. So what you do is, you get your best members of staff, those people you don't want to leave, and you bring them in for an interview, and they ask, why am I being interviewed? And you say, because we want more people like you. So you ask them about their hobbies, about what they do out of work, their hopes, their dreams. What was their situation before they joined you? And then you get them to do a personality test. And with this personality test, you'll see that there'll be one of these 16 different personalities. This is a free one, takes 10 minutes to do. You can get disc assessments and you can go deeper on it, but this is a very simple way to do it. If you know that you've got a team of protagonists, you maybe don't want to throw a logistician in there. They might not flourish. You might not get the best out of them. It might actually be counterproductive to their career, to your team, and to your business. So by getting your team to do the personality tests and then finding out what personalities work best with that team, you retain the culture, you retain the happiness, and the period of someone joining your business and staying becomes a lot longer. And it's so interesting for management as well. For one reason or another, all of my recruiters, 80% of them are protagonists. And protagonists, they want to know what's happening, but they also want to be left to it. They want agency, they want a vision, they want the tools to do their job, and they want to get left to it. So I know how to manage protagonists, I know how to get the best out of them, and I know what personalities would come into that team and cause problems. So again, this is simple stuff. Simple stuff that if you implement it, you will be able to retain more staff. And guys, roofing is a very incestuous industry. If you've got a bad manager, everybody talks, people know about it. If you've got a good team that have been there for a long time, everybody knows about it and everybody wants to join them. 10 years ago, when you were hiring, if Graham was looking for a QS, he probably had about 6 or 7 to choose from. Now, there's 6 or 7 Grahams looking for that same QS. It's so difficult to find them. So one, when you do, you need to retain them. But 2, you need to have an employer brand. You need to have a business that people know that people want to join, because then you can overcome probably one of the biggest problems that affects the growth of our companies, the people problem, and you can win. So I'm a recruiter, I'm a headhunter, and the reason that I'm here today is because I want to do more than just move people through companies in the market, and I want to give back to an industry that's given me so much. These are all successful guys. You've built successful roofing organisations. You can successfully win clients, develop marketing strategies, develop new projects, new materials. So what I'm asking you to do is take the same energy that's got you to where you are today and put that into the people problem. And it might be the best thing that you've ever done. So thank you for listening. And if anyone's got any questions, fire away. Thank you.